Hi, I'm Sindastra, and today we're going to talk about the RØDE smartLav Plus, which I just said into the RØDE smartLav Plus. Tap tap. I'm using the lavalier to talk into the camera. Think of it as your sound test, but that's not including voiceovers like this. So let's take a look at the box. As you can see, this is the RØDE smartLav Plus, new and improved. Why new and improved? Well, there was a model that was not the Plus version, which had a bit of a background noise. The new one should have less or no background noise, so you should be able to use it without or with very little post-processing. As you can see, this comes straight from down under, more specifically Kangaroo Land. Let's cut it open. Now let's open the box and let's get the content out. Looks like it's stuck. Let's try again. And dang it, out of screen. Let's simply try again. And dang it, upside down. Okay, one last time. And as you can see, everything in here comes in a nice pouch. Quick start guide. No one needs that. Futures in here. Yes, you do. Ooh, what's this? Warning, strangulation hazard. I was not able to rip off this label and had to use scissors, but be careful not to cut the cable or Agent 47 will be sad. This is the microphone itself. This is the TRRS connector. Note that it's gray. And then some devil's candy to keep things dry. I'm of course just kidding. You should not eat this. This is not candy. Do not eat. And then finally the clip to clip it on. That was everything inside the pouch and box. Now this gray connector is the TRRS connector. I will talk more about this connector later, but the point is this will not fit inside a modern iPhone. But that's okay. If your iPhone came with headphones, you can check the back of this package and you should find an adapter right there. If you are careful, you can remove it without tearing up the packaging. This is the lightning to headphone adapter you're going to use on an iPhone. While installing it, please hold it firmly or else you might lose the grip and it might slip like this. Worst case, you might break the adapter, so make sure to hold it firmly while plugging it in. And that's how it's done. Did you know that if you want to make third-party accessoires with this lightning connector, you have to pay a fee to Apple? Maybe this is why iPhones don't yet use USB-C. Hello and thanks for being here today, Tim Apple.
Hello, I like money.
Why do you keep the lightning port and don't switch to USB-C like everybody else?
Money!
So that was the unboxing. Now you know what's inside the box. You probably remember the scene where I kinda threw the manual away and I was like, I don't need a manual, it's just a microphone. What's there to know about a microphone, right? Well, for example, how to clip it on. I had no clue. How do I properly clip it on? So I actually needed to consult the internet. I didn't read the manual. Yeah, I actually checked online how to properly clip it on and use it. I don't know why I didn't read the manual. I guess no one reads manuals, you just check the internet instead. Anyway, let me show you how to clip it on so that you know and you don't have to check. I mean, technically you are checking right now, right? You didn't consent to check. I'm forcing the check on you now, but roll the footage. Once you unboxed everything, you need to push the microphone through this little hole, so it would look like this. Of course, the little windshield has to be removed first. To do that, you just pull on it and it goes off like a little sock. Now, after it's pushed through the hole, you put the little windshield back on, and it should look like this. Now let me remove the cable from the handle. So this is what it should look like after you pushed it through the hole. Now let's put the cable back through the handle and create a little loop like this. This is known as the broadcast loop. Then we fixate the cable right there at the fixation that's intended to put the cable there, and you should get a really nice professional looking loop. Now the problem with this fixation at the handle right there is that it's really darn tight. Can you see the hole right there? I was not able to push the cable through in any way. I tried really hard using all my strength, but somehow it just doesn't fit. It's just too tight to fit it in there. So what did I do? Well, a dirty little trick. As you can see, currently it does not hold on to it at all. Let's fix this. Basically, we'll take the lightning plug or any other small rounded thing and we gently push it in like so. But you really gotta make sure to not use anything sharp and be careful not to put it in sideways, or else you might end up cutting the cable instead of pushing it in. Of course, you do this at your own risk. I did mine off camera because it's really hard to see through the camera what you're doing. So now you know how to clip it on. What else is there to say? Well, I could tell you a few specs. I mean, I'm not just gonna, read a table of specs to you because that wouldn't be good content. So let me just tell you a few important key things. One important thing is the range, like what kind of sound can it pick up? Well, it can pick up from sound from 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz, which basically means from really bassy bass to really not bassy bass. I mean, it can pick up your voice and lots of frequencies. Basically, it's a pretty decent microphone, pretty decent range for, everyday use. You're not going to have any trouble picking up your voice, even if it's a really bassy or high-pitched voice. About using it, I mean, you know how to clip it on, but where do you clip it on? Pretty much anywhere on your jacket or t-shirt. RØDE says about, 1 hand length away from your mouth, like this, should be fine. Yeah, just clip it on like this and you'll be fine, and then you just talk naturally. What else? Oh yeah, one thing that's kinda funny is RØDE says the microphone is powered by the iPhone headphone jack, which RØDE should probably update on their website because Apple kinda removed the headphone jack kinda years ago, RØDE. So what else is there to say? Oh yeah, it's an omnidirectional microphone. Basically, it will pick up sound all around it. Doesn't really matter how you install it. There's no upside down. Just clip it on and talk, as I already said. Now let's listen to what it sounds like using the phone microphone. Wait, can you hear this? No, of course not. You can only hear it if I'm talking. I'm talking about the echo without the mic. But it's not like an echo, echo, echo. It's more like a reflection of the sound from the walls. It sounds quite clear without the lavalier or lavalier, whatever you pronounce it. But you also hear some form of reflection. I mean, depending on whether you're using headphones or a PC speaker or a phone speaker, but you should be able to hear a difference between now without the mic and using the camera. I mean the camera as microphone. So why am I looking around as if there were birds flying around? I'm talking about the sound, so I don't know. I guess it just makes it more immersive. So how do you know it actually works and isn't recording through the camera? So, why did I get the RØDE smartLav Plus? Basically, this is my second review. In my first review, I did two things. I recorded footage of the device with my iPhone and I recorded myself with my iPhone. In the case of the footage, you don't need a professional microphone attached to the camera, because at least what I did is record the footage, import it to my computer, cut it, edit it, and then just use a RØDE microphone, studio microphone, for voiceover, basically just talking over the footage. So you don't even need to record any sound with the phone. But in case of recording myself in front of the camera, well, I cannot connect my studio microphone to the iPhone. So instead I had to use the built-in microphone, but the sound is not great. Basically, if you use the built-in microphone, you can hear the room. What I mean is you can hear kind of an echo. It's not like an echo, 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 but you can certainly hear the reflection of the sound coming off the walls. The iPhone has a stereo microphone setup and a lavalier or lapel microphone like this is a mono setup, which of course has the advantage that the sound sounds a bit more centered, more like on a podcast. So I did, oh, and of course it has this little filter here and it doesn't pick up as much room sound or reflection. So why the smartLav Plus and not some other one? Well, as mentioned, I used my phone for recording, and the smartLav Plus basically plugs straight into your phone, or in the case of a newer iPhone, you need to use the Lightning to headphone adapter, which is included with the iPhone. I don't think it's included in the newest iPhones, but at least for some time the adapter was included, so I just used that. And I will get back to the connector soon. So let me try to explain the connector of the RØDE smartLav Plus. So it uses the TRRS connector. TRRS. 4 letters. Remember that it's 4 letters. I'll get to that soon. Which is basically the connector for the smartphone and modern laptops and tablets. Traditionally, we use the TRS connector, 3 letters. Remember that it's 3 letters. I'll get to that soon. which is the connector used in desktop PCs and professional equipment, and is still used today in desktop PCs, and it was used in laptops for some time, where you had the green audio output and the pink audio or microphone input separately. But then smartphones came along, which are smaller devices. They are consumer devices, meaning you just want one simple, easy to use connector that doesn't use as much space as two dedicated connectors. So TRS, as I mentioned, that's 3 letters because it's 3 connection points: ground, and then left channel, right channel. Of course, you always need to have ground for a loop to have a circuit. Then TRRS, 4 letters, because 1 letter more, because 1 connection point more. That connection point is actually for the microphone. Now you can use a TRS connector in a TRRS jack, at least when it's about audio output. But when it's about microphones, they are not compatible. So Rode made the smartLav Plus with the TRRS connector so that you can plug it straight into a smartphone or tablet or modern laptop without needing an adapter. Of course, adapter is always an option, so you can connect this microphone to a traditional PC or to professional camera equipment and so forth. So, but it's of course nicer to just be able to buy the connector you need without needing an additional adapter, which costs money and it's just not as nice, right? So Rode decided to make something a bit more user-friendly, because I just explained, it took quite some time to explain TRS and TRRS and so Rode came up with the idea TRRS connectors will be gray. Like if you buy a Rode cable with TRRS, the plastic piece at the end will be gray. If you buy a cable or some equipment with a TRS connector, the plastic piece at the end will be black. And the idea is traditional equipment, cameras and desktop PCs, black connector. Modern equipment, smartphones, tablets, laptops, gray connector. I guess that's a bit easier than trying to figure out what is what. So, I made a few mistakes with this microphone, and I would like to share them with you so that you don't make those same mistakes. Mistake number 1 was not getting an extension cord. This cable is pretty short, so the camera is about one arm's length away from me, and the cable is a bit longer than that. I would say 1 or 1.5 meters in length, which is enough for now. But if I were to put this under my shirt, it wouldn't be long enough to then reach the camera, So that's why I have a direct line from here to the camera. As you can see, the cable is pretty much just dangling here, which is so that it can reach the camera. So yeah, mistake number 1 was not getting an extension cord. I should mention, if you have a wireless transmitter, it's long enough to go under the shirt and then to a wireless transmitter that's on your belt or something like that. Mistake number 2, not being prepared for iPhones. What I mean is, while this is meant to plug straight into a smartphone, as you know, Apple removed the headphone jack, I didn't find my Lightning to headphone adapter. So I borrowed one from my friend. And yeah, mistake number 2, you should probably, if you're using an iPhone, a modern iPhone, you should probably order some lightning to headphone adapter to be, ready to use this microphone. Mistake number 3, I was not worried about battery life of my iPhone, because I figured, I don't need to charge my iPhone. I can just plug it in and leave it plugged in while recording. And you probably know where this is going. If you are charging your iPhone with the lightning port, you cannot use your lightning to headphone adapter. So, you cannot charge and record at the same time. So mistake number 3 was not getting one of those splitters. Basically, you can get a lightning to headphone and charging port, so you can charge and record at the same time. I should get one of those together with an extension cord. So yeah, that was mistake number 3. Mistake number 4, not having a proper recording app. What I mean is, as you know, I use my iPhone to record. The built-in camera app works with the microphone, but of course the built-in camera app doesn't produce a good image. So how do you fix that? You use some proper app that allows you to, set the exposure, the white balance, and all those nice things. And I did buy an app known as ProCam, which you should not buy, because ProCam is nice for the image of the video, but it cannot handle external microphones. So basically, the built-in camera app of the iPhone can handle external microphones, but the image will be bad. And the ProCam can get you a good image, but no external sound, no external microphones. So what did I do? I looked for a few apps and I found Pro Camera, not to be confused with Pro Cam, which costs a bit more than Pro Cam, but they do actually support external microphones. They do this really well, no matter whether it's Bluetooth or cabled microphones. There's a nice little indication on the bottom left of the screen, where I can see the microphone sound levels. And when I plug the RØDE smartLav Plus in, it will say external microphone connected, and it will switch the display. And basically, you need to get a good app that gives you both a good image and good sound using an external microphone. So yeah, Pro Camera for iPhone is the way to go, in my opinion. That's what I'm using right now. Works fine. So yeah, those were the 4 mistakes. Not getting an extension cord, then not having the lightning to headphone adapter already, not being able to charge and record at the same time, and number 4, not having a proper recording app. So yeah, you should probably make sure to order the right things so that you don't get stuck like I did. So this review did take a bit longer than it should have, because I was stuck at those 4 spots. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. This time I tried to just have a bit of fun and put in some little jokes, if you noticed. And I hope you like this style. Have a nice day. Bye.